When the woman finished mountain climbing and was about to drive home, she discovered that the door to her car was blocked by the neighboring vehicle. At this moment, a man got out of the car and asked if she needed help. What was strange, however, was that, despite the clear weather, he was holding an umbrella. As the man got closer to the woman, it turned out that the umbrella was actually a disguised stun gun. To prevent the woman from escaping, the man tied up her hands and feet. When the woman woke up, she realized she had been bound and immobilized. No matter how much she struggled, she could not escape. Fortunately, her bracelet had not been taken by the man. Just as she was about to use the bracelet to call the police, the man seemed to have anticipated her move, saying that there was no signal in this remote mountain area. The woman did not understand the man's motives, but she was carrying a small knife. To avoid alerting the man, she spoke with him while secretly cutting the ropes with the knife. A few minutes later, the ropes were finally cut. The two immediately began to struggle. The car lost control and crashed into a tree. Seizing the opportunity while the man was dazed, the woman quickly cut the ropes around her feet. She then got up and tried to run, but the man, now awake, claimed he had already injected her with a muscle relaxant. Within 20 minutes, the woman would lose the ability to move. However, the woman was too desperate to care. She turned and fled into the forest, as it was her only hope of survival. But before she could run too far, her fingers began to go numb, and the small knife fell from her hand. As the man got closer, the woman could only pick up her pace. But as time passed, one of her legs also lost feeling. She had no choice but to hide in a tree hollow to avoid being tracked. What no one expected was that a large number of ants suddenly crawled out from nearby, biting into her wounds. Finally, the woman couldn't hold in her scream. This moment drew the man back from a distance. For the sake of her life, the woman had no choice but to dive into the river. The man could only watch helplessly as she disappeared. The powerless woman was swept downstream, unaware of how long it had been. Eventually, the water carried her to the shore, but unfortunately there were less than 2 minutes left before the 20-minute limit. Her breathing was shallow and difficult. As time ran out, the woman lost all ability to move. Fortunately, the man did not catch up. Soon after, an old man found her on the grass and hurried over to check on her. However, he received no response. When he turned her over, he noticed her blinking eyes, signaling that she couldn't move and was injured. So he took her back to his small cabin. But just as the old man was about to ask her more, a series of urgent knocks interrupted him.